Last week, Georgia Southern spirits were flying high as the Eagles picked up their first win of the season. Today, they look to play the spoiler against a Louisiana Ragin' Cajun team who's looking to go bowling once again. ESPN welcomes you to the Bayou in Lafayette, Louisiana for Sun Belt football today. The Ragin' Cajuns, 4-2 in the Sun Belt, taking on a Georgia Southern Eagles team who's finally found some momentum late in the season. And we are so glad you decided to join us alongside the coach, Doug Graber. I'm Bernie Gunther. Coach, this is a game that kind of would give you nightmares if you're Louisiana. You got a Georgia Southern team that comes in 0-9, but they won last week, and they come in drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit.
You know, they not only won, Bernie, 52-0 over a good South Alabama team. Go figure, it's football. They have a lot of momentum from that win.
And one of the big reasons, the two-headed monster that they have at quarterback, Shai Wertz, he's the current Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Week, and he and Cato Brown, they had it going a week ago.
Boy, they really did, and they're both good players. You see that is Cato Brown on the left, Wertz on the right. Wertz he is a great athlete. He's the speed guy. He's the runner. He's getting better throwing. Cato Brown is a junior. He's the veteran leadership quarterback guy.
Well, last week the Eagles pitched a shutout against South Alabama. Their challenge today going up against running back Trey Regas, who could very well be the Sun Belt Freshman of the Year.
I watched a lot of tape of him yesterday. 227 pounds. Look at the numbers. 5.8 per carry. They've had some good backs here, but he is the real deal.
Getting ready for Sun Belt football on the final Saturday of November. The Ragin' Cajuns taking on the Eagles next on ESPN. Back here in Lafayette, Louisiana, getting set for Sun Belt football. You see where Louisiana is. They are in the mix, 4-2. Of course, they need some help. They finish out the season next week at App State. Troy won yesterday 62-9 as Silvers had a season-high 380 yards with 4 touchdowns. Appalachian State right now, they are defeating Georgia State 24-10 with about a minute and a half, so they're about to go to 6-1. But that's where things are interesting today for Louisiana, Coach, because you get a win today, and then you kind of control your own destiny and a chance to finish 6-2 if you can win these final 2 games.
Yeah, if you can win today, then you go to Appalachian State next week, and that'll be a big one. And that's going to directly affect whoever wins the Sun Belt. Arkansas State is in a battle today with Louisiana Monroe, so there's a lot of crazy things that can happen yet. And, of course, remember, Georgia State is working under their interim head coach, Chad Lunsford.
Tyler Bass getting set to kick things off as we get set for football here. Ernest Patterson back alongside for the Ragin' Cajuns. 2 big final games left in the regular season of the Sun Belt for these 2 teams. And the Eagles and the Ragin' Cajuns are underway. And we knew that Tyler Bass has got a strong foot. It'll be a touchback, and it's coming out, Coach.
Yeah, we're expecting the Cajuns to open with Levi Lewis, a true freshman quarterback who is definitely the future here for them. He is an outstanding athlete. He's 5'10", 175 pounds. If he was 6'1", every school in the country would have recruited him. He's got a tremendous future, though, a lefty.
Yeah, Levi Lewis, a freshman from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. There he is on the right side, number 17. He's the 3rd starting quarterback this season. And so Lewis, the freshman, will get the start, and he looks to throw on first down. And that's the one thing that he does bring to the table is he's got some dancing feet, and he gets out to the outside before he finally throws it away.
Creative. Is that what we're going to call it?
Absolutely.
That was very creative and a classy move by Coach Hudsmith. He started number 23 at running back, the senior on senior day, Darius Hoggins. Just look at the feet and athleticism of this young man. He's very smart as well. He's an engineering major, great student.
Now Hoggins to the right and Trey Regas, the freshman in the backfield. This is what tells you that the future is bright for Louisiana. 2nd down and 10, and they do hand it off to Darius Hoggins. And Hoggins cuts up field and picks up about 5 yards to the 30-yard line.
Gain of 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd
Chris De La Rosa, the senior from Longwood, Florida, making the tackle.
Yeah, this offense for Louisiana, there you look at the numbers for Darius Hoggins. 5.0 average rushing, and how about Regas? 5.8. That's in the top 40 in the country in rushing average.
3rd and 5. Lewis with Hoggins to his right. They'll audible to the sideline, and they'll still have 10 seconds to snap it. Lewis looking to throw on 3rd down. The pass is incomplete. He overthrew his receiver, Malone.
Yeah, this is Lewis's. This is his 3rd start. Jordan Davis started 6. Their junior college guy, Andre Nunez, started 2 at quarterback, but they've had injuries, concussion, ankle injuries. It's been a rotating door at the quarterback spot.
And now it's Sam Geraci, the senior from Cincinnati, getting set to kick to Miles Campbell, who is a lot of fun to watch back to receive for the Eagles. It's an important 3 and out. Fair catch called for, and it's caught by Campbell. And for the 3rd straight week, Georgia Southern is going to have a chance to get on the board first, as they will have offensive possession after they get a 3 and out.
Yeah, that was a terrific defensive series by the Eagles to start the game. And now we take a look at the offense. And, of course, that's Shai Wertz, number 4, that leads them out. He's a true freshman from Clinton, South Carolina.
Take a look at the numbers. He's the current Sun Belt Offensive Player of the week. Inconsistent to start the season, but the freshman has really grown as the year has progressed. The Eagles, obviously, this is a historically option-oriented team, but they run the shotgun option as Ransby is in the backfield. And this time they pitch it to the outside, and it's a good one as Wesley Fields cuts up field, and he's got a 1st down all the way out to the 40-yard line.
Right off the bat, Bernie, it's a triple option. You got a dive, a quarterback, and a pitchman. This is only the 5th time all year that they've pitched the football, so now they got all 3 phases working.
See, Fields' number is almost 600, and they look to throw on 1st down, and they get it to the outside to Miles Campbell. It's an offense that really wants to work quick, Coach.
Yeah, they do, and that was number 81, Darian Anderson, the wide receiver, trying to make a block out there. Tough situation with the interim head coach. It's never easy for the players or the coaches.
Wertz comes in with 797 yards. That's 2nd most by a freshman in school history. He's going to hand it off on 2nd down, and almost 1st down yardage gained there by Wesley Fields, who gets his 2nd carry of the football game. Fields is a junior. He had almost 700 yards as a freshman. Last year's the GoDaddy offensive MVP. And that's going to be 3rd down and 3. And Wertz calls his own number, carries ahead, and it looks like, depending on the spot, he may have the yardage needed for a 1st down.
That was the quarterback follow play. He follows the dive back into the hole. The dive back leads. And a lot of extra effort right at the end there that may have gotten the 1st down. It's close.
So it's going to be 4th and less than 1. If you're a 1-9 football team, are you going for it, Coach, here?
But not only that, but option teams historically will go for it on 4th down all over the field. They're not. It's an offense that does not have many negative plays. So most option teams would go for this, especially this short.
Wertz with Fields and L.A. Ramsby in the backfield. This time they get it to L.A. Ramsby, and he easily picks up the 1st down, getting 4 yards on the game.
On the carry. 1st down, Georgia Southern.
Ramsby coming in 89 yards away from passing Gerald Harris for 12th all-time in school history.
That's the old-fashioned cross-buck play, and Ramsey did a nice job. This offensive line now, I'm telling you, they've been impressive this first series for Georgia Southern.
Coach, is a team that comes in, they're the leaders in the Sun Belt in rushing as they pitch it to the outside, and Fields has got a whole lot of room to run. He gets across the 35, out of bounds at the 34-yard line. This is what they do. This is the Sun Belt leading rushing attack team, and you're seeing why.
Yeah, and this is watch number 46, the big tight end out there. He's the guy that makes the key block right there that springs L.A. Ramsey.
First down on 10. They give it to Ramsby, who stays on his feet and is able to pick up a couple.
Ramsby on the carry.
It's really an intriguing offense to me. There you see the head coach, of course, that's Chad Lunsford. But they try to run from the shotgun. This has never been done before now. They run the triple option offense from the shotgun, but they zone block up front. They don't cut block like most triple option teams.
2nd and 9, Ramsby is the lone tailback, and Wirtz calls his own number, and he carries it ahead.
I think that was a broken play. There was something askew there in the backfield, and of course, Wirtz being the athlete that he is, he picked up about 4 yards on that. Yeah, there's something definitely wrong there. They're not gonna. It wasn't even a naked fake or anything.
Booker comes in to make the tackle.
Defense, number 58, 5-yard penalty, replay, 2nd down.
The penalty is going to go against Georgia Southern. And that's going to make it a very manageable 2nd down.
Boy, this time they spread the field only with one back.
2nd and 4. Wirtz is going to look to throw. He fires into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Pass intended for Malik Henry, and it was broken up.
Yeah, he really put a lot of air time. It was good coverage down the field, and that's an excellent play that was Laverius Varnado that made that play. Great timing to get up and get a hand on that football.
3rd and short, 3rd and 3. Wirtz pitches it this time inside. It's going to be a first down for Ellis Richardson, the junior from Atlanta, Georgia.
That was the shovel pass. This has been a spectacular opening drive by this Georgia Southern offense.
The Eagles just keeping it going after 583 yards last week against South Alabama in a 52-0 win. They got it in the red zone here. 1st and 10. Wirtz doesn't have options, trying to use his legs. He's inside the 10-yard line, and he's going to be down to the 8 before he's finally tackled by Mitchell.
He is scary fast. When he gets into the open, look out. Nice job in coverage. They totally took it away. That was Demarin Mitchell right there, number 17, trying to make the stop. He's tough to corral in space.
2nd down and 4. Fields in the backfield. Wirtz pitches it outside of Fields. He's got a lot of running room, and Fields is into the end zone. And for the 3rd straight week, Georgia Southern strikes first.
Now, this is the speed option, and it's really executed well. Wirtz held the football as long as he could, got it out to him, good blocking down the field.
That is the 5th rushing touchdown for Wesley Fields. And now here comes Tyler Bass on for the point after.
This is what I call the Mother Goose formation. And now if it's not there, then they come back in. If you don't cover that, they'll just throw the ball out there and walk it in the end zone.
Extra point is good. 11 plays, 75 yards, capped with a Wesley Fields touchdown. And it's the Eagles with the early lead here in Lafayette.
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the College Football Playoff.
Back here in Lafayette, Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns hoping to go bowling for the 6th time in the last 7 seasons, but Wesley Fields opens up with an 8-yard touchdown run. It was a very impressive 75-yard drive, Coach, that went over 5 minutes.
Yeah, and we made a big deal about it, how they haven't pitched the ball in the triple option all year. And there you see Coach Hudspeth. They're trying to get that figured out because on that opening drive, they pitched it 5 times. That's more than they pitched the football in the option all year.
So Bass will kick it off.
Boy, you got to be careful.
Callis.
Yeah, Callis is really, really good, and that was their plan. Just kick it so hard it was out of the end zone. They did it on the first one, and that's it. Yep, that's out too. So that plan accomplished.
And so we had the second opportunity for Levi Lewis to go to work offensively. Louisiana's starting quarterback, he was 0 for 2 against his Georgia Southern Eagles team. It's so interesting to think about. Last week, you talked about how convincing their win was, 52-0. And you talked to Zoe Constantini, who is the defensive coordinator for Georgia Southern. He really talked about how they simplify the defensive schemes for these players.
Yeah, but you're not playing well as a coach. The first thing you got to say, are we doing too much? Because are we asking the players to do too much? Are they thinking too much on the field? They play faster when it's simpler, and that's exactly what they've done. They only run 3 blitzes, period.
Regas getting a carry on first down, and he is stuffed right there at the line of scrimmage.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, this Georgia Southern defense is really, really running to the football. And play simple, play fast. That's what they're doing.
Regas, who told you, ranks 3rd in the Sun Belt in rushing touchdowns and 4th in yards per game, but he was stopped on first down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 11. Lewis looking to throw. All sorts of time. Scampering around. Everybody covered. And he is going to be tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Another big defensive play. Raymond Johnson III, back-to-back defensive stops.
Hardest thing for a true freshman quarterback to learn is to take his primary read, stay in the pocket, get to the second read. Right now he's running and moving a little too much.
It is 3rd and long. Levi Lewis. They're switching up the play. Will Hall, his first season as the offensive coordinator for Louisiana. And Lewis will throw on 3rd and 11. Pressured again. Scampering, throws over the middle, and the pass is complete, but short of first down yardage.
Now that was Stan Freeman, made the tackle in space along with Joshua Boone, the safety. Well, this guy is really fun to talk to, and he's done a great job with this defense. And how about that, 3 and out the first 2 series. Amazing guy.
The challenge last week was for the team to win the game on defense, and of course, pitching a shutout they did. And that was the first time in school history that they shut out an FBS opponent, and he said, why not do it again?
Well, you know what? They're off to a pretty darn good start. 2 3 and outs.
Eagles are going to get the football back. And this one is going to hop out of bounds around the 25-yard line. We will see what Georgia Southern's Shai Wertz has offensively when they pick up for their second series, already up 7 points. Georgia Southern and the Eagles going back on offense. Shai Wertz really was efficient and effective and ran that first series very well, Coach.
He really did, and there was a couple of plays that were a little bit out of kilter, and he made it happen with his feet. It's a great opening drive, and pitching the football. That's the 3rd phase of the triple option, and now they're finally doing it. Great blocking downfield, too, by the way.
5 first downs on that drive. And by the way, this is a Georgia Southern team. That's what they struggle with all season long. They came in averaging only 17 first downs a game. As Wirtz pitching it to the outside, and that time he is absolutely, they were there and hammered, and the football was dropped for a moment and then picked up. How about Varnado coming in with a huge play there?
Yeah, this is the speed option. And boy, outside, and Varnado beat the block of the receiver, and he is all over the pitch phase right there. Luckily for them, the ball was picked up by Miles Campbell.
Yeah, Wesley Kennedy III was met in a moment's notice, and that's what you talked about, making the adjustments after the first quarter, after that first series. And obviously, as we see Fields and Godfrey in the backfield here on second down, maybe they saw something going, but there's a wide open hole. Wesley Fields, he could have driven a truck through that. He picks up a first down.
Yeah, and Louisiana, they really didn't know. That's the problem with the triple option team. And they're in a 3-4 defense. See the nose tackle right over the center, because they weren't sure it was Georgia Southern whether they'd get 3-4 or 4-3. They'd rather see 4-3, but they're doing pretty good against the 3-4.
Down to the 41-yard line. First down and 10. Wirtz has got the offense going once again. They hand it right back off to Fields, and it's working again for Fields, who picks up a little over 5 yards before Tracy Walker comes in to make the tackle.
This offensive line is just flat coming off the football. They're doing a great job there. You saw that was Tommy Boynton and Northrup both on the left side. Very, very good hole opened up.
64 yards running the football already to go along with the touchdown for Wesley Fields. Came in with 600 yards of rushing this season. He's got his 5th touchdown rush. And Wirtz is going to throw on second down. Wide open over the middle. Pass is complete to Richardson, and Richardson into the end zone for the touchdown.
All of a sudden, this triple option offense is absolutely taken off, and that's what they do. As soon as the safety starts to bite to come up on the pitch, look out. There's the play action pass, and that was a great throw by Shai Wirtz. Take a look at it. Put it right on the money. Perfect timing.
Well, the first drive, it took 5 minutes. A 53-yard completion from Wirtz to Ellis has the Eagles flying early on, up 14-0, shocking the Cajuns early on here at home on Senior Day. Well, Georgia Southern, fresh off their first win of the season, a balanced attack a week ago. We saw Wirtz and Cato Brown both with over 100 yards passing. Brown 120 yards, Wirtz 170 yards, and they're back to that balanced attack here, trying to get win number 2 on the season, Coach.
Yeah, and look at the time of possession stat. Almost double it over USA, and that's what they're doing here. I mean, they've had the ball virtually the whole first quarter, 4:30 left. And Louisiana's had 2 possessions, 2 3-and-outs. So the defense is doing their job, and they are running the football. And once they do that, buddy, here comes the play-action bombs.
Pass kicking off, and for the 3rd time this quarter, a touchback. You take a look at what Chad Lunsford did. He said that when he took over, it's difficult becoming the interim head coach. But he talked about he wanted to get consistency, continuity. He wanted his players to be all on the same page. And it seems like week in and week out, this is a team that's really started to build in their belief pattern.
Oh, absolutely. And also, this is a young team. And they, young players just keep getting better. This staff is a triple option staff. Every one of these offensive coaches are experienced in the triple option. And, buddy, it shows in this offense on those first 2 drives.
Levi Lewis in the shotgun after back-to-back 3-and-outs. And now Lewis trying to use his feet, scampers upfield, and he is tackled as Valim and Rashad Bird come in. You take a look at what their defensive coordinator talked about that they did the accountability meetings, and I know that you're big on this. You talk about the players going up and talking about their mistakes. You talked about early in the season, 5 weeks ago, 18, 20 mistakes per game. Last week there was only 2 mistakes, Coach.
Hey, and put the tape up on the board, and the players have to stand up and explain why they made that mistake.
Lewis hands it off to Regis on second down, and not a whole lot happening there, as Regis is pushed out of bounds by Murray and Vildor.
Yeah, Vildor really closed nice from his corner spot and knocked him out of bounds. Kind of aggressive.
Third down and 8. Third down is 2.
The goal for this team to win on defense for the second straight week, and it'd be quite a challenge because this is a Louisiana team that loves to score. They love to put up points, but so far they're looking for their first down of this football game, and there's 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. They got a chance here on 3rd and 2. Only 4 seconds left on the play clock. Lewis takes the snap, looking to throw, and he fires across it, and is picked off. Intercepted by Brinson, the sophomore.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's Levi Lewis right now looks like a freshman. That was a blitz. He made the correct read, but his accuracy was between he and the receiver. The receiver stopped. He threw the slant. The receiver did not finish the slant. And, of course, Moncavius Brinson, number 4, was all over it. This is shocking to me, what's going on here in the first quarter. And now Georgia Southern has got great field position. Ball on the 39-yard line. And if they can't figure out some way to slow down this triple option offense, Louisiana's in big trouble.
It's Brinson's 5th interception of the season, and Wirtz going back to work. That's a little bit of a change because typically this is where we've seen Cato Brown come in on the 3rd series, but Coach, when it's working, it's hard to mix it up, right?
No, they said that. Normally they bring in Cato Brown on the 3rd series unless, Wirtz is flying. He's flying.
Gare with a carry on first down, picked up a yard.
Again, that was a good job by Avarius Varnado, number 2, to come up and support that pitch.
Wirtz with Ramsby in the backfield, and they hand it to Ramsby, and look at the footwork inside. Scampers it. Looked like he was going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and he picks up about 5, and it's going to be a very manageable 3rd down now because of his efforts.
Yeah, he made a great spin move, and most guys, when they make a spin move, get a little bit higher, but he kept his pad level down on that spin, and now it sets up a very doable 3rd and 4, and again, this is 2-down territory for these guys because they are not afraid to go for it on 4th and 2, 4th and 1.
Wesley Fields, who scored the game's first touchdown in the backfield. They pitch it to Fields, who gets to the outside. He's got the first down and more all the way inside the 20. And Fields has got him in the red zone once again before Mitchell came up and made the play to get the stop.
Take a look at it here. Just a quick pitch, power sweep. Everybody hat on hat. Every guy had their assignment down perfect. Away they go.
And Wirtz has Georgia Southern looking to strike on the 3rd straight drive. L.A. Ramsby straight ahead with a good gain on first down. Will make it 2nd and 5.
Boy, this Louisiana defense, you're talking about being on your heels. Man. Triple option football can do that to you. It's very difficult to prepare for this in a week.
And Coach, again, a reminder, this is a team that up until last week was 0-9. Wirtz pitches it to the outside to Fields, and immediately he is stuck. That time Louisiana was there as Tracy Walker got some penetration into the backfield.
That's what you have to do against. You have to give them negative plays and put them into 3rd and long situations. And typically, watch the pursuit here. Watch all the black hats get to this football. But typically, this is where triple option offenses struggle. The key is to give them negative plays to get them in this situation.
Final 30 seconds of the first quarter. Wirtz looking to throw, and he is hit and dropped in the backfield. A huge defensive play there for Louisiana, getting in to make the sack. It was Mitchell and Middleton coming into pressure Wirtz.
Yeah, full blitz, and they just brought too many from the wide side of the field. They couldn't pick it up. And again, this is where option offenses have issues on 3rd and long.
So Louisiana coming up with a big stop to end the first quarter. But an impressive first quarter was for Georgia Southern freshman Shea Wirtz. He carries the Eagles to 157 yards of offense, and they've got a 14-0 advantage. As we head to the second quarter, they'll have a chance to go up 3 scores when we come back to Lafayette. Bernie Gunther, Doug Graber back with you in Lafayette, Louisiana, as we get set to start the second quarter. An interception potentially turning into 3 points now as Tyler Bass comes on to kick for the Eagles. He's made his last 9, and he's going to attempt it from 42 yards out, and a chance to give Georgia Southern a 17-0 advantage. Good place, and the kick is straight through. Matt Flynn, a nominee for the Mortel Holder of the Year. He's the punter for this Eagles offense. Hasn't been utilized as a punter so far, and he laid it down perfectly for Bass, who's made 10 straight now.
But Louisiana, on that sudden change situation, they finally figured out a way to take away the pitch. The pitcher, all the big plays were coming off the pitch, and that was just killing them. And that's what option offenses do. It's a constant struggle in the first half to see what they're doing and then how do you stop it. So it's a lot of coaching going on that sideline on both sides.
But now the question for Louisiana is, this obviously is opponent offense, but you've already spotted the Eagles 17 points.
Yeah, and very honestly, the freshman quarterback has looked like a freshman, a true freshman, and he's struggled. He's not seeing the field. He's not reading very well. He's holding on to the football and scrambling almost every pass. They have not been able to get Regis, their great running back, untracked at all. So this is a key series now offensively for the Cajuns.
Raymond Calais back to receive. Bass with a chance for 3 straight touchbacks. It's a good weapon, right?
Boy, great way. And Calais is a good one. He's had 2 long ones. He's 25.7 per return.
And so this is kind of what we expected. We thought that we may see multiple quarterbacks for Georgia Southern, and we are going to see multiple quarterbacks for Louisiana. Is now Jordan Davids, who is a junior from Spring, Texas. He started 5 games this season, had action against Ole Miss and South Alabama, and you're going to bring in a veteran here to try to get things going offensively alongside with the senior Darius Hoggins, who's in the backfield with him.
Yeah, just calm down, slow down a little bit.
Davis can run the football as well as he pitches it to Hoggins on the outside, and Hoggins, he was met immediately, but he breaks the tackle, and Hoggins is going to race down the field all the way into the end zone for a Louisiana touchdown.
Wow. The senior on senior, boy, he got it done right there, no question about it.
Chris De La Rosa had a chance to wrap him up behind the line of scrimmage, and set a spin move, a miss, and he scampered 75 yards.
The corner made the sin right there. You can never get beat outside, and the corner did get beat outside, and buddy, it was history.
And now this is where it has been a little bit dangerous, if you will, for Stevie Artigue, the junior from Lafayette, Louisiana. They're last in the Sun Belt, believe it or not, in point after attempts, 26 of 32. Usually this isn't a moment of the football game that carries quite as much drama as it has for the Raging Cajuns, but that one stays in, and Louisiana starting to roll. The senior on senior day trying to get the Cajuns home a winner. 75 yards, he scampers into the end zone, and the Cajuns are on the board here in Lafayette. Louisiana trying to go bowling for the 6th time in the last 7 years. You talked to Coach Hutt. He talked about this is a team that they're trying to get back to where they once were, winning 9 games a year. They lost a double overtime game, lost a game to Tulsa that they felt like they should have won. But they feel like they want to get back to the 9 wins, but they have a chance to finish with 8 wins, obviously, a couple with a bowl win. But it always, and obviously, would start with a win today. That was a big spark for them, getting that 75-yard touchdown run by Hoggins.
Yeah, you know, they had some issues with the NCAA, and they've been cut 9 scholarships. That's definitely that's done with now. Now next year they'll have the full allotment of scholarships. That will help immensely. And we watched the seniors be introduced. Most of this team are young players.
Campbell takes a knee, and now maybe some questions for the Eagles offensively after you finally felt like Louisiana started to figure out the spread.
Well, okay, so on the pitch, which they hadn't done all year hardly, all of a sudden now, so Louisiana made the adjustments in the coverage. They started getting the corners as force, cover 2 or man, and cracking on the safety. Corners coming off that, making the play on the pitches. Now, watch the play action pass down the sideline. That's the next step.
Wirtz has been very efficient throwing the football as he hands it off to Fields on first down. 67 yards for Shai Wirtz throwing the football, 3 of 4. Varnado pushed Fields out of play. Fields with a huge first half. He's approaching 100 yards, and there's still 14 minutes to play here in the first half. He's got almost 80 yards rushing to go along with a touchdown.
Yeah, he's averaging over 9 yards a carry. I mean, wow.
Second down at 7. L.A. Ramsby and Wesley Fields in the backfield as Wirtz changes up the play. 8 to snap it. They snap it with 5, and now Wirtz is going to keep it. Pitches it to the outside of Ramsby, who breaks a tackle, gets across the 40, and he gets a first down. Boudreaux comes in to stop the senior.
Yeah, and again, they had trouble with the pitch. Good looking athlete.
And straight up the middle, Fields gets out to midfield, out to the 50. A healthy dose of Fields. He talked about averaging about 9 yards a carry. And another big one, I think 2 yards short, going to get 8 there, but not bad, Coach.
If they keep running what I call that cross-buck play out of split backs, the linebackers are going to have to start keying the opposite back. That's the only way to stop that play.
Officially, they'll call it 7 yards. It's 2nd and 3. And they go straight up the middle again. And why not? Is L.A. Ramsby. He's going to be awfully close to the yardage needed for a first down.
This whole offensive line for Georgia Southern are back. They're mostly are sophomores and 2 juniors. And I'll tell you, those kids are coming off the football.
It's a team that averages almost 210 yards rushing the football. They've already got 118 yards here in the first half, and Wirtz is going to throw it. He's got a man wide open on the outside. Nice little pitch and catch there to Darian Anderson. Anderson, just a freshman from Warner Robins, Georgia. They said that he stepped up and made a couple of big plays last week against South Alabama.
And right on the money by Wirtz. And I watched, again, a lot of tape yesterday early in the season. I'll be honest with you, Wirtz looked terrible throwing the football. He has improved dramatically as the season has progressed. And remember, he's a redshirt freshman, 5'11", 190.
Just the 3rd Eagle to start on opening day as a freshman. That's how much they like Wirtz, and he's going to try to throw. He goes downfield, got a man wide open, and that one incomplete, intended for Anderson. A nice job breaking up the play downfield.
And that was catchable, though. That was a good throw. And but the defender was right there kind of with his hands in his face. And that was Simeon Thomas that made that outstanding play for Louisiana. Senior corner.
So it's 3rd and 3. Raging Cajuns trying to get a stop. Wirtz keeps it, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A big play for Justin Middleton. He leads the linebacking corps with a career-high 9 tackles a week ago and comes up with a huge play. And this is the first time we're going to see the Eagles punt the football.
Yeah, first time today. And I watched Matt Flynn punt in the pregame warm-ups, and he will end over end this punt. And he was excellent in the pregame at getting this thing down inside the 10-yard line. Let's see if he can do it again.
7th all-time in Eagle history with 122 career punts. Looks like your lob wedge.
Yep.
Checking right up.
Nice job inside the 10-yard line. And again, end over end. And these kids now that learned that technique of punting in that way are very effective.
Malone calls for it, and they will mark the ball right at the 10-yard line. And now we're going to see Louisiana go back to work after Hoggins came up with that huge offensive play to scamper 75 yards for a touchdown.
And Jordan Davis, that was his first play of the game. All he did was make it. But again, that was a pretty good drive, one-play drive.
That's Trey Regis in the backfield along with Jordan Davis. 11.5 to play here in the first half. Eagles leading by 10. Davis looking to throw on first down, and that pass was awfully dangerous, almost intercepted. He threw it right over the middle. Got 12 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the year. Jordan Davis has.
Yeah, he's hit 56%. You want to get up there at least the mid-60s. His accuracy has been an issue for Jordan Davis. 6'3", 217, junior.
Hands it off. Regis on second down, picking up about 6 yards before Chris De La Rosa, who couldn't make the tackle on that 75-yard touchdown run by Darius Hoggins. That time able to wrap up the freshman for the Cajuns.
Yeah, that missed tackle was disastrous. And then the worst thing was when he missed the tackle, the corner did not keep his outside arm free, and he got the sideline, and now your pursuit is gone. Corner has to force that ball back inside. Has to.
Raging Cajuns backed up. It's 3rd and 4 from the 16-yard line. And Davis looking to throw. They had a man one-on-one, but Joshua Moon was there on the coverage. Just couldn't make a good throw there.
Yeah, there was a lot of contact made. He made the right read. That was definitely the read against the blitz. And again, just didn't execute it. This young man, he can't even practice anymore. Geraci, he's a graduate transfer from Cincinnati. He has a stress fracture in his right foot. He can't practice during the week. He only hit a couple in the pregame warm-ups. So that has really handicapped him.
And obviously probably makes things a little more dangerous on the kicking game as Geraci's going to kick it off to Miles Campbell. Good coverage there. And it will send us to break. The Eagles back with the football, up 10. Trying to get their second win of the season here in Lafayette, Louisiana.
All ESPN coverage is streaming live on the ESPN app. Download now and take ESPN everywhere.
Well, we are glad you are with us for ESPN College Football today in Lafayette, Louisiana. Record 6 Sunbelt teams went bowling a year ago. Raging Cajuns hoping that they can take care of business with a win today. They would for sure be bowling, but they finished the season with Appalachian State a week from now. And of course, as we see, Georgia Southern coming to town. This is a team that we talked about. It's a drinking the Kool-Aid coming in, Coach. And it's interesting what a difference a win can make in your mentality as a team, isn't it?
Unbelievable. I mean, think about this. 0-9 and you got no hope. And all of a sudden you blow out a good football team. That just was a shock to everybody. And I'll tell you, they are playing great here today.
They scored the first 3 scores of this football game. Wesley Fields is in the backfield. A big reason Fields got on the scoreboard first in the first half. It was Fields with an 8-yard touchdown run. Richardson connected with Wirtz on a 53-yard pass, and then Bass added a field goal as he began the second quarter. But Louisiana, they've worked their way back in. They scored, and now they have a chance to get a big stop here on 3rd and 2.
You know, and with everybody running the spread offense, I think a triple option attack can really be effective if you recruit the right personnel.
Wirtz hands it off, and L.A. Ramsby, he's going to get the first down, pushes across midfield and out to the 46-yard line. Ramsby came in needing 89 yards to pass Gerald Harris for 12th all-time. He's got over 2,200 yards career rushing. That's 9th all-time, including with his 37 career touchdowns. Hands it off to Ramsey once again. Ramsey's a guy that you like as a coach because he was recruited as an option quarterback, and then they found out that maybe he's a little bit better as a running back, and you got to like athletes that are willing to make adjustments in their career.
Absolutely, and he has been a great running back in this offense. And, you know, the guy I've been kind of impressed with, right there you see number 75, that is the center, Curtis Rainey. And he is doing an outstanding job in that offensive line, really getting off the football, especially against a 3-4 front.
Field scoots to the outside. He can't get across the 40-yard line. A huge stop there for Louisiana.
That was too much speed.
It was Deuce Wallace.
But he wrapped him up and took him down.
Looked like Fields had all sorts of running room before Wallace came in to make the play. 3rd and 3. Wirtz pitches it to the outside. They're going to get the first down and more as Monteo Garrett, the junior, gets pushed out of bounds by Middleton.
Okay, Louisiana ran a blitz, and obviously everything was taken away inside, but who's got the pitch? It's assignment football, and, somebody's got to have the pitch.
And again, the scouting report you talked about, Coach, only 4 pitches the entire year going into this game.
That has really got Louisiana in the heels, so they were not ready for all these pitches off the different options.
Wirtz handles the high snap, but only a couple there.
And this little split back cross action that they had not shown much of that. And I'll tell you, that really messes with the keys for the linebackers, and that play has been very effective as well. The pitches and that little crossbuck, I call it, have really been effective against Louisiana.
DeMarcus Godfrey picked up a couple before he was stopped by Joe Dillon. Eagles trying to get back in the red zone once again. Wirtz keeps it, pitches it to the outside to Garrett, and Garrett is going to get a first down before he's stopped by Mitchell.
Mitchell with the stop, first down, Georgia 7.
A triple option team. Somebody's got the quarterback, somebody's got the dive, and somebody's got to have the pitch. And the pitch is killing them right now.
They get it to Ramsby, and that's what you like.
Ramsby
Fighting for that second effort, but he's only able to pick up 2 before Jaquez Boudreaux, who had an interception last week against New Mexico State, makes the tackle.
They're basically running 3 plays. They're running the crossbuck, they're running the triple option, and pitching most often, and they've run the speed option as well.
It's working.
It sure is. Every one of them has been effective.
Trying to extend a 10-point lead with 5.5 to play. Wirtz got the field to a stop behind the line of scrimmage. Trev Miller blew up the play in the backfield.
Now the advantage goes to the defense. 3rd and 10 for a triple option team. You don't want to get that situation. Now we've got Ramsby coming back in the game. L.A. has His dad was Al. He's Little Al. That's how he became L.A. Little Al.
Little Al in the backfield alongside with Wirtz. Wirtz throws it back to the far sideline, and he was stopped immediately. And we're going to see Tyler Bass come on for the second time in this football game. And Louisiana is going to call a timeout. Fourth down upcoming for the Eagles. Already up by 10. Eagles offense flying high here in the first half in Lafayette, leading 17-7. And we saw Tyler Bass connect to begin the second quarter with a 42-yard field goal, and a couple of yards in. Gonna have a chance to connect here now on a 37-yard attempt. He's been a huge weapon this year for Georgia Southern coach. Eagles trying to go up 13. And the kick is no good. After 10 straight made by Tyler Bass, he's got a miss. Just the fourth miss this season. And so it's a good stop for Louisiana, who's going to go back on offense. And one of the reasons why they used the timeout, coach, is just to make sure that they had enough time.
Yep. And again, you hit 10 in a row, but the odds are you're going to miss one at some point. Still, nice 17-7 lead for Georgia Southern. And really, Louisiana had the one big play by Hoggins, and that's been it. Other than that, this defense of Georgia Southern has shut them down pretty well.
Sophomore Raymond Calais, who is a terrific kick returner in the backfield as Davis begins his third series. Looking to throw. He's got a man wide open. A huge play to begin things here on this drive as the pass is complete to Raheem Malone.
Raheem Malone runs a deep corner route, and it comes totally scot-free against the zone defense. And a nice throw by Jordan Davis. He put it right on the money. Wide open. They ran the corner off and ran the deep corner out behind him.
Malone had 113 yards, his high in Sun Belt play a week ago against New Mexico State. A big pickup there. And Davis going back to the air on first down, and the pass is going to be complete and all the way down to the 35-yard line before Moon comes in to make the stop.
That was a terrific open field tackle by Moon, because they were man-to-man. If he doesn't make that tackle, that's another big game.
The veteran Jordan Davis in place of the freshman Levi Lewis, and he's really doing a great job controlling this football game. Nice little run back there for Bradley, who tallied his first 100-yard receiving game against Ole Miss before Reese is there to make the tackle.
Well, they took the screen away totally, and he tried to cut it back across the field, and normally when that happens, it's not good, and it wasn't good for Louisiana. And there you see Lorenzo Costantini. Born in Italy. How about that? Came over to this country when he was 10 years old.
He played on both sides of the football at UTEP. Is a blitz here on third down, and his defense getting it done with a huge play by Reese.
Yeah, that was Tarmarcio Reese, and he comes scot-free. That's a mistake now up front. The center stepped to his right, was expecting to get help, got no help, and that was the result.
And their center, Cole Prudhomme, he's been under center, started all 10 games, so obviously he's a veteran in that spot as just a sophomore. Tracy back to kick. Miles Campbell back to receive. Georgia Southern's going to get the football with less than 2 minutes to play. Fair catch called for. And Georgia Southern, they are trying to go back to their winning ways. You take a look at when they were an FCS team, they had 6 national titles, 11 conference titles. They were in the GoDaddy Bowl in 2015, and it's a team that historically, Coach, it's been all about the triple option when they've won and they've had some success.
Goes all the way back to Irk Russell. My God, I going in to do games with Irk Russell and the triple option. You had to meet Irk at Stookies about 7 o'clock in the morning if you were for breakfast. That's what you had to do. That was his time to meet with anybody coming in to do a game, and he was a character. We miss him dearly.
Well, they talked about the flurry of joy on the faces last week after they got that win over South Alabama, because Georgia Southern, they talked about it's such a proud place to win at football. There was so much pressure on this team to make sure that obviously everybody wants to go undefeated, but nobody wants to go without a win for an entire year and get into the history books in the wrong way.
Yep. And now, of course, they're involved in a coaching search. And Chad Lunsford, if they can come in and win the last 3 games of the year, he's definitely putting his name out there. Hey, I can, and he's been here a long time in different roles. I think they should stay with triple option. It's just such a great tradition at Georgia Southern.
Wow. A little hurdling being done by L.A. Ransby. Talked about the different transitions for this team. 5 different head coaches that this senior and junior class have gone through a lot of changes. Yep. And you talk about the challenges for these coaching staffs. Obviously, there's a huge coaching carousel going on, and you see Chip Kelly signing with UCLA, but it's all about getting your type of players in right away. And when you take a look at the transition that this team has had, the senior class have 5 different head coaches, it's very hard for any one particular coach to get the personnel that they want to have some success.
Absolutely, and it's very difficult to have a successful program with that many transitions with staffs going on here. As you see them attend to their tight end Ross Alexander, who has, by the way, has done an outstanding job of blocking down the field today. But going back to that, transitions are tough. This looks like an ankle when he's on it. But this staff now, this whole offensive staff are all experienced in the triple option. They've been at Cal Poly, who is a great triple option team. They've been at Georgia Tech under Paul Johnson, and the offensive coordinator was under Paul Johnson at Georgia Tech, Brian Cook. So I don't know. I would hate to see Georgia Southern get out of the triple option because they've done it so well for so long, and we've watched it here in the first half. Hey, it is what they're trying to do is run it out of the gun, and I had some misgivings about it, but I'll tell you what, they're making a believer out of me in this first half.
45 seconds remaining. Wirtz looking to throw with all sorts of time, and wow, he had a man wide open in the middle of the field in Richardson, but he just threw it out of play. And you think about for Georgia Southern, this is a proud team that we talk about their FCS history. They also went down to Gainesville just a handful of years ago and took down the Florida Gators. And if you talk to a lot of the faithful that watch and follow this Eagles team, they love the option. This is what it's all about.
Absolutely, they love it. Of course, when they beat Florida, that was the great Jerick McKinnon at quarterback, now with the Vikings.
2nd down and 10. Wirtz hands it off the field to have the first strike of this game. And I would think that if you're the Eagles, you'd be pretty content with taking a 17-7 advantage into the half.
Absolutely, and we're getting right down to that point now.
Well, they're approaching 200 yards on the ground. It's a team that averages 210 yards a game. But the biggest difference for the Eagles is that they have passed the football effectively 72 yards through the air. And how about Shai Wirtz, the freshman, going on the road, trying to give the Eagles back-to-back wins. It's the Eagles with a little bit of a shocker, leading 17-7 at the break here in Lafayette.
Welcome to the Capital One Halftime Report.
We are at the break here in Lafayette, Louisiana, between Louisiana and Georgia Southern. And while we're at the break, Jen Latta tells us the story of James Madison running back Trey Sharp, who found the resolve to play after learning of his father's death during a game earlier this season.
1, 2, 3, go! Madison, James Madison!
When the James Madison football team wins, this is the scene in the locker room. A constant after every victory during the Duke's incredible 17-game win streak.
We are the Dukes of JMU!
Except for one game.
By the time we got into the locker room, it didn't feel like we won. Instead of, singing the fight song, we said a prayer.
Trey Sharp learned the game of football from his father, David Sharp, a well-respected youth football and basketball coach in their hometown of Carrboro, North Carolina.
I was 7 years old, and I already told my dad, I wanted to be a running back. And so he comes home one day and he tells me, get my cleats ready, we're going outside. And he had cones set up for me, and he taught me how to hold a football that day, and showed me the holes of the line of scrimmage.
This summer, Trey was beginning camp for his junior season when he received news about his father.
I got a phone call from my mother, and she had told me that he was in the hospital and he had cancer in his kidney.
David's diagnosis was terminal. Trey would spend much of the next month making the 4-hour drive between Harrisonburg and his home in North Carolina. Then, on September 16th, before the Duke's game against Norfolk State, Trey made a FaceTime call home, like always.
It's around 6 o'clock in the morning. He couldn't really say much, just nodding his head, saying yeah. And it just felt like I had to play the best football game that I could for him. I just remember coming out and just being so zoned in to the game, and it was almost like I was playing with no fans, nobody there, just me, my guys, and the other team.
Trey turned in the performance of his career, rushing for 2 touchdowns and 180 yards.
Every time he hit the field, he's tack, tack, tack.
But early in the fourth quarter, he caught a glimpse of his brother in the crowd.
Around the fourth quarter, got the phone call. Wasn't good news, of course. I didn't want to tell him at first. But he kept looking up.
His head was down and he was shaking his head, and that's how I found out.
I'm really proud of Trey. He had a great day today, and he's having a tough day today. His dad passed away during the fourth quarter of our game today. So that's probably why the guys aren't real jolly up here.
It really didn't even seem like we won the game, just because we knew that he was hurting so much.
My locker is right next to Trey, so one thing I said was, you just had the best game of your career, Trey. I just told him, it's special that your dad's last sight, leaving is you playing like that.
5 days later, head coach Mike Houston and many of Trey's teammates attended the services for David Sharp.
The day that his father passed, Trey had a big ball game for us on the field. And so we gave him that jersey before the service. And at the end of the service, Trey took that jersey up and put it in his father's casket.
It's just a symbol of how much he's done for me, and that just for me being able to wear that jersey and to play this sport is all owed to him.
Well, thanks, Jen. A touching story. Trey Sharp and the Dukes of James Madison looking to return to the FCS championship game in January. James Madison with a first-round bye will take on Stony Brook or Lehigh next Saturday. Plenty more to come here from Lafayette, Louisiana. We are at the break as Louisiana taking on Georgia Southern.
Welcome to the Capital One Halftime Report.
A little bit of a surprise here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Sunbelt Offensive Player of the Week, Shai Werts, and Georgia Southern with the first 3 scores. They lead it by 10 here at the break.
I did what you said, Doc. Changed everything.
You switched to the Capital One Quicksilver card. And how do you feel?
Like a burden's been lifted.
Those other cards made you sign up for bonus cash back. Then they changed categories on you every few months. Then you had to keep signing up. You deserve better. Now get out there and keep earning that 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
Thanks, Doc.
I'm not a doctor.
What?
Time to go. What's in your wallet?
Welcome to the Capital One Halftime Report.
Back here in Lafayette, Louisiana, it's the Georgia Southern Eagles with a 17-7 advantage. Now let's take a look at these plays from last weekend that may impact your Capital One fan vote.
Time report.
Have won 13 straight.
Miami's got an opportunity to jump into the top 4.
Our team's ready. We're excited.
Homer takes off.
All the way home. Touchdown, Miami. Stutter steps. Scores. Throw high. There's the pick. Jaquan Johnson will be the first wearer of the turnover chain tonight. Intercepted. Look out. Trajan Bandy, the true freshman. They got the chain again.
And Miami is putting a beat down on the Irish.
Picked a better weekend to have this kind of performance on this kind of stage.
And don't forget to go to ESPN.com or the SportsCenter Facebook page on Tuesday and give your Capital One fan vote. Second half on the other side of the break. The Eagles trying to win their second straight, up by 10 on the road.
Larry, you got to get those burgers off the grill.
Doug Flutie? Who threw the Hail Larry?
You mean a Hail Mary?
Tomato potato, man.
Those are two different words.
Let's go, Dr. Pepper here. Let's go.
ESPN welcomes you back to Lafayette, Louisiana. Let's take a look at today's campus moment brought to you by Dr. Pepper, an emotional day, Coach. It is senior day for some of these fine seniors trying to leave a winner here in their final home game.
Yeah, it's a small senior class, but there's some good players in it. And I think I like Coach Hudd. I like his comment. We got to get the tears out of the way and play. Well, they didn't play to start off with, so they got to get it going now the second half.
Well, it took them the first 17 points, if you will, for the Eagles to get those tears away. It's our first kickoff return of the football game, and it could be a good one. Dancing across the 30 to the 32-yard line. A good pickup there for Wesley Kennedy the third as we take a look at our first half stats. Notice the great distribution Georgia Southern had, both running and passing the football.
Yeah, they really did, and the key was the rushing yards. And remember, Louisiana had 75 on one play. You take away that play, and the Georgia Southern defense played pretty darn well.
Yeah, the Eagles scored the first 17 points of this football game before Darius Hoggins, one of those seniors, raced to the end zone, 75 yards on first down, and now we see Werts go to action, handing it off on first down, and we've seen the defense really get a little more solid for Louisiana after Georgia Southern scored the first 17. And by the way, it leaked into the first part of the second quarter, but really from that point on, you almost call it a shutout in the second quarter for Louisiana.
Defensively, it's very hard to get a good look at the speed of this offense during the week in practice until you go against it. In the first two series, they didn't come close to making a stop.
L.A. Ramsey keeping on his feet. Penalty marker going down, and Ramsey awfully close to a first down before Demarion Mitchell brought him down. And Ramsey slow to get up. But we'll check out the marker. And it's going to be holding going against Georgia Southern.
Yeah, when the umpire throws it, it's holding 99% of the time. And that
Holding. Offense, number 75. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay. Second down.
The center, Curtis Rainey, the junior from Jacksonville, Florida. And this again where, this is a huge penalty for a triple option team now.
You're exactly right, Bernie. No question about that. We're looking at L.A. Ramsby on the sideline, whether he's... I thought he was holding his hand when he went off, but not sure.
2nd and 21, and they are playing it on second down, and a big pickup for Fields. He gets back the penalty yards and more. Look at Fields go scampering out of bounds all the way to the 30-yard line, and a late flag comes in after Wesley Fields is having a game.
Well, they brought a blitz, and again, who's got the pitch? That's the key right there, and obviously the answer is nobody had it.
What a contest for Wesley Fields. He's got over 100 yards now after that big pickup.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, sideline interference against Louisiana. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
And that is huge.
Well, that doesn't help, and Coach Hudspeth is not happy. I don't blame him. I wouldn't be happy with that either. Let's take a look right here. Oh, yeah, the official trips over one of the... That white spot on the, you cannot be in that. And one of their players was standing right in it and tripped the official. That's poor discipline.
And Georgia Southern, who started the season 0-9, trying to win back-to-back games. They are in the red zone again to start the second half. And they get it to Godfrey, who is spun down just after getting across the line of scrimmage by Kevon Perry.
And they have still not solved the crossbuck play, and that play has been consistently picking up 5 and 6 yards a crack all night.
Fields after that huge 48-yard gain now with 146 yards in this football game. Wirtz gives it back to Fields, who's had the yeoman share of the work, and he gets a couple of yards that he's going to be about a yard short. That's where Justin Middleton trips him up. It'll be 3rd and a short one.
And Bernie, interestingly enough, Louisiana has now gone to the 4-3 front in trying to slow down this offense.
Hasn't stopped him here.
Well, and now they're back to the 3-4.
4 plays, 61 yards on this possession is Wirtz. And the Eagles trying to cap the first drive of the second half with a touchdown. Wirtz dancing to the outside, breaks a tackle, dances through, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Fancy footwork by the freshman Shai Wirtz, and the Eagles strike first here to begin the second half.
He is absolutely dynamic running this triple option. Just watch his athleticism right here. Run pass option. Watch this move. Wow, and he knew right where the pylon was as well. Run pass option, nothing there, well covered. Sorry, not going to get me in space.
6-yard touchdown run for Shai Wirtz, and the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Week, trying to make his candidacy to make it back-to-back Sun Belt Player of the Week titles.
And we haven't seen Cato Brown yet, and the way Wirtz is going, I don't think we will.
Pass in for the point after. How about this start to the second half? 6 plays, 67 yards, and Wirtz with a 6-yard run. And the Eagles up 24-7 on the road. Take a look at our Sunbelt scoreboard here on a Saturday night. Well, we told you last night, Brandon Silvers threw for a season-high 380 yards and 4 touchdowns. They had a 62-9 win. And now there's 3 teams, Coach, that are 6-1. Troy 6-1, Arkansas State, they win against Monroe 67-50, and App State with a big win over Georgia State as they hand Georgia State their second loss of the season.
Sets up a huge game next week in Jonesboro, Arkansas, between Arkansas State and Troy. Huge.
And of course, things will be a little bit different next year because the Sun Belt is going to move to an East and a West, and there's going to be a Sun Belt championship game, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
That is much needed for the Sun Belt Conference, and I'm so happy that we're there now.
Another touchback on the kickoff for Bass. He's had a pretty good day here at the Yard. If you would have made his point after, they'd have a 20-point advantage, and now I would assume we're going to see Jordan Davis go back to work. He was a lot more efficient throwing the football, as there he is, number 3, taking the place of Levi Lewis, the freshman who had struggles early on.
And that's been the issue offensively for this team all year. They've started 3 different quarterbacks. Everybody's been hurt at one stage. They were going to redshirt Levi Lewis, but he went to the coach and said, hey, I'm going to graduate in 4 years anyway. If I can play, I'll play.
And how about this, as you see Regis get the handoff, he's going to pick up about 1.5 yards. He is 4th in the Sun Belt in yards per game, and right now Trey Regis, who many think could be the Sun Belt freshman of the year, he's been held to only 3 yards rushing.
They have totally shut him down, and remember, their rushing yards at halftime, 85, but 75 of it came on one play.
Yeah, that was Darius Hoggins. They're going to give Regis another chance. This time a little more happening. He breaks to the outside, and he's got a huge gain. That shows you what can happen if the freshman can get a little space to work. De La Rosa finally tied him up, but not before Regis got across midfield.
I think he heard your last comment. He hasn't done anything so far. And boy, the next play, there he goes.
Could turn on a dime.
You know, they lost Elijah McGuire last year. He's playing for the New York Jets. This kid can be better.
27 yards on that carry. They are across midfield. And Davis looking to throw on 1st and 10. Nice pass to the flat. Gets it to the outside and a pickup of about 4 yards. Well, this is the big challenge that they had, trying to replace a little bit of a legend here. And so far, Trey Regis, an impressive freshman season as you take a look at the comparison through 10 games.
Yeah, that's a pretty good look at that, 9.1 average for Regis. Wow.
And that just shows you the law of averages. After he saw that big pickup of 27, he was bound to get a big run after his number was called a couple of times.
He's too talented. He's got too much size and speed and elusiveness, and he is going to be, I still maintain, a great player here. Here's an audible.
And Davis is going to call a timeout. Louisiana using their first of 3 here to begin the second half. The Ragin' Cajuns offense starting to go to work. Trey Regis starting to get hot.
You know, offensively, I look at this team and Louisiana. I'll tell you, both of their sophomore guards, I think, are outstanding, especially Kevin Dotson, the right guard. 6'4", 309 sophomore, and man, he is an athlete. They've got a freshman, Regis, at running back. They have outstanding wide receivers that are all young, sophomores and juniors. They got to get the quarterback situation solved. That's the key issue right now. And nobody, you know, they've had rotating quarterbacks, partly because of injuries, but really nobody has stepped up and just taken the job.
And they're one of only 4 FBS schools, Houston, Maryland, Michigan, of course, Louisiana, to have started 3 different quarterbacks.
Yep.
And that's not the style you want as a coach. You'd like to one guy the entire year if you can.
You want one guy, and he gets all the reps, and he keeps getting better. And they just have not been able to do that. They're hopeful that Levi Lewis is going to be the guy, though. They really like his skill, his attitude, his smarts, everything.
Right now, though, it's been Davis who's changed the game. He calls his own number. He gets the first down inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. And he's had some positive momentum since he's been inserted into the quarterback role here in this contest.
Yep. And that being said, but the defense has really been the issue for Louisiana all year, giving up an average of 484 yards a game. That's just, and most of them are back, and they played much better last year. So something is wrong.
Hoggins is in at tailback. He's the one that had that 75-yard scamper for Louisiana's only score. Davis looking to throw on first down, and he is taken down and sacked behind the line of scrimmage. Big play there by Logan Hunt. We talked about the junior from Sandersonville, Georgia. He's been one of the big leaders for this team despite the 0-9 start. And you got to have somebody that really tries to keep things together, especially when things are going as bad as they were for the Eagles.
Yeah, and look at the pursuit here. I have never been part of an 0-9 team, but I've been like 0-5 a couple times. And I'll tell you what, it's hard to keep those troops going. And, my hat's off to this coaching staff because these kids are really playing hard.
Second down and 11. Davis firing it downfield to the near sideline, and it goes in and out of the hands of DeMarcus Bradley.
Yeah, this is very well defended down the field. A lot of airtime on it. And that was the linebacker that was running with him right there, Lane Ecton. Pretty good job down the field. Linebacker / nickelback. It's really, that's in their scheme.
Louisiana 0 of 5 on third down. It's 3rd and 11. Davis pressured right away. Davis goes up the middle, but there's nothing happening but a couple of yards. That's a big stop, and I would assume down at this point you're going to go for it after Joshua Moon came in to get the quarterback.
Looks like the kicker's on the field.
Stevie Artigue. He's got a long this season of 51 yards, 9 of 13.
This is going to be 50 yards right here.
So kind of interesting for Artigue, who's 26 of 32 for point afters. He's connected on a 51-yarder, trying to connect from 50 here. And Artigue, low and driven, and right through. Artigue has Louisiana on the board here in the second half, but they trail by 14. Stevie Artigue has Louisiana on the board here to begin the second half as he connects on a 50-yard field goal. One game remains for the Ragin' Cajuns. They will battle against App State next week on Saturday. They had a tough schedule because you take a look at only 5 home games, which is really obviously a difficult task for any player.
We talked with Coach Hudspeth about that, and that's really tough. And this is the first home game in like over a month. So, it's hard for the students and everybody to get into it. Man, you're on the road every single week. That gets old after a while. But, we spent Friday afternoon here, and wow, these facilities that they have completed with the offices and the indoor facility, weight rooms, it is unbelievable. This is an absolute Taj Mahal, and that's just been completed in the last year and a half. Should be a huge recruiting tool for Louisiana.
Trailing by 2 scores, 9 minutes to play, and that one's going to go off the feet of Campbell. But they are able to recover as it's picked up by Kennedy, and Kennedy is still on his feet, gets it across the 25-yard line, and that could have been a whole lot worse. Instead, they're +3 on yardage if they would have taken a touchback.
Hey, it just seems like everything is kind of going their way, because that could have been absolutely disastrous. And off his knee and right to Kennedy, and he took it like it was a planned play. Oh, it was like a pitch. Wow. Very fortunate right there.
That's what wins will do for you, right?
Yep, and that's a good strategy. They kicked a line drive kick, and they're hard to handle. There you see Coach Lunsford.
So it remains Shai Wertz, who has been behind center this entire football game. A little bit of difference of what we talked about at the onset with Wertz and Cato Brown combining last week for the win against South Alabama, where they won 52-0. They've got 312 yards of combined offense. Last week they had almost 600 yards combined, 240 yards on the ground, 72 yards through the air.
From a pure coaching standpoint, I love the triple option, and I was the head coach at Rutgers, for 6 years, and we played Army every year when they were great at it, and Navy. Now we never lost to them, but I'm gonna tell you what, boy, it was a struggle every time.
Wirtz holds it this time, and that time the defense comes up with a big stop, but it's going to be 3rd and long after Tracy Walker breaks up the play alongside with Trev Miller.
Assignment football. They had the pitch covered. Take a look at it now. They had the pitch covered. The quarterback is covered. Done. 3rd and long. Tough situation for a triple option team.
What are you drawing up here, Coach?
Well, obviously, you got to put the ball in the air, but you know what? You play too much pass defense, and they're going to hit you with one of those phases of the triple option. You still have to have all your option assignments in place.
Well, they got Fields in the backfield. He's picked up some big plays with his feet so far in this football game. He's got 153 yards on the ground, including a rush for 48 yards. This makes it even worse.
5-yard penalty.
It'll back him up 5 more yards and make it 3rd and even longer.
Yeah, that's on the quarterback. I mean, he's looking right at that 25-second clock, and he's got to get it done. Now, he's a freshman. They're going to make some freshman mistakes, but that's a mistake.
So Wirtz with Wesley Fields to his right. He could use the junior to pick up another big play. Fields asked to block this time. Wirtz looking for some options, fires downfield, and that could have been dangerous. It is picked off. It was dangerous. A huge interception for Thomas.
Yeah, and they played a zone. They played a quarter zone coverage. And again, huge advantage now for the defense against this. Let's take a look at it and see if he was in bounds. I'm sure they're going to look at this in the replay booth because, but he did, I think, come down with his elbow in bounds there. Of course, Wirtz take a shot after. It's just you just don't have enough time as a trip. If you're going to be triple option, you got to run it and you got to practice it all the time. And these 3rd and long situations are tough on this style of offense.
The ruling on the field is an interception by the defense. Previous play is under further review.
Yeah, I thought this would go to review, and the key issue is, does he have an elbow down in bounds? Yeah, I think he does. I think that's a good call on the field. Let's see what our friends next door in the replay booth decide.
Terry Walters is our replay official. For the first time this season, or for the first time ever, it's a collaborative replay effort. Jeffrey Hilliard is in Birmingham, a collaboration with the Southeastern Conference. Of course, it is trying to increase the consistency of all these calls. That's one of the reasons why it's being looked at in Birmingham as well as here in Lafayette, Louisiana.
Now, this is the first replay I think we've had tonight, I believe, Bernie. And it's a close call right on the sideline there. And this is a big, big play in this football game. So let's make sure that we take a long look at it and get it right. It was called an interception on the field, and he had a great view of it. The side judge was in perfect position. He had a great look at it right live, right in front of him. He called it an interception. So it's going to have to be something... I think this.
After further review, the receiver's foot was out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. Okay. It'll be Georgia Southern ball, 4th and 12.
The last play I looked at there, his left foot was out of bounds
on the
25-yard when he intercepted the ball.
Down.
So Louisiana is going to get the football back, albeit not in as good a field position because it is 4th down, and they're going to bring Matt Flynn on to punt.
Right. And that cost them probably, let's see, the odds are that's going to cost them 35 yards of field position.
Raheem Malone Standing inside the 40 is Matt Flynn, who's 6th all-time in Eagle history in career punt yards. He's got almost 5,000 punting yards in his career. Back to kick, the senior from Loganville, Georgia.
Oh, good punt.
There comes Coulthard as veteran entry, and they were awfully lucky there. Malone was tackled by his own athlete, and the ball just happened to fall into the hands of Trey Regis, and it does not look good.
No, sure doesn't.
Timeout on the field with 6.5 to play. Louisiana has the football back, down 2 scores. Well, Georgia Southern has the football back, but a moment ago, Malone able to get off under his own power as Braylon Trahan pushed into the punt returner Malone by Godfrey, and this could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. They were very fortunate they recovered that.
And so Davis remains under center. He's taken the place as the starting quarterback from Lewis, who began the game, the freshman. Calais in at running back. Picked up a couple on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
That was a dead play because the safety, Joshua Moon, number 22, he blew it up. He hit the force on that and blew it up.
2-possession football game. Georgia Southern scored the first 17 points of this contest, but Louisiana trying to work their way back into it. That one tipped to the line of scrimmage, and it is going to be 3rd down. It was Cooper that got a hand on it.
Got that big left hand up and batted it down. And boy, all the defensive line coaches now work drills with defensive linemen. And you know, when they sense a point where they're not going to get the quarterback, of sliding and reading his eyes.
Big 3rd and 7 here.
Let's look. Let's see if they bring it.
Louisiana 0 for 6 on 3rd downs, trying to get their first 3rd down pickup of the football game, and instead it's picked off, intercepted. It's Kendall Vildor, the sophomore from College Park, Georgia, who has the 2nd interception of this football game.
Well, they ran a full blitz, and you talk about extending for the football. He was in press man-to-man coverage. What a spectacular play by Vildor. And on the other side, the receiver's got to do a better job of fighting for that football and knocking. He's got to be the defender now.
Vildor's 3rd interception of the season. Doesn't look like a team that was 0-9 2 weeks ago, Coach.
You know, and these corners now have 7 interceptions between the two of them. The corners are the strength of this Georgia Southern defense, no question about that. And they don't hesitate to put them up and press man-to-man.
Look at this. Wirtz is under center.
Well, they said they'd do it, you know, like maybe 10 or 12 times a game, so this is the first one.
Godfrey going in motion, straight up the middle, another good pickup. It seems like on first down they continue to get big yardage, and a big reason Wesley Fields, before this game is done, he may have 200 yards on the ground, Coach.
You know, this is just a straight belly play, just under center, just an old-fashioned belly play to the fullback, and they weren't ready for that.
18 rushes. He's got over 106 yards on the ground to go along with a touchdown. And Wirtz keeps it himself. He's got a first down and more. He's inside the 25-yard line before he is spun out of bounds.
Boy, and that looked like a horse collar tackle. Obviously no flag, so boy, Wirtz took a shot and he's down.
Tracy Walker, the senior.
Yep, he looks okay.
Spun the freshman out of play.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 23, at the distance to the goal. Automatic, first down.
Foul against Walker.
Yeah, so they did call it. Take a look at it right here now. Wow. You know, I get upset with football now because people don't tackle. They don't tackle. They grab and they, that's not good fundamentals.
Big opportunity. Another trip into the red zone for Georgia Southern. They're 3 of 4 so far today. Their only miss was a missed field goal by Tyler Bass early here in the third quarter.
And I'll tell you, if Georgia Southern is able to punch this in the end zone, that is really going to be tough duty now, because it's going to be at almost to the end of the third quarter. 31-10 would be tough to overcome against this Georgia Southern defense.
Wirtz pitches it inside. A big play for Richardson, who connected on a touchdown reception earlier in the first half. Gains just a couple, and it's going to be third down and about 8 yards.
Another injury on the field. So I can't quite get the number. Louisiana player. It has to be one of the defensive linemen from where he is, and they're looking at his ankle.
Looks like Mitchell, the sophomore from Magnolia, Texas. Back to Georgia Southern. They fired Tyson Summers midway through October. In comes Chad Lunsford. Talked about simplifying things offensively, defensively. A team that built over the last couple of weeks obviously came to its culmination a week ago with a 52-0 win. But you talk about the history for the Eagles head coach. He started at Georgia Southern 2003 as a wide receiver coach. He knows about the great history, and it's incredible what he has done just taking over this program in a couple of weeks, getting them back to the basics, and they have a chance to add to a 14-point advantage. As Wirtz looking to throw, fires it to the near sideline, trying to get to Campbell. It'll be incomplete, fourth down coming.
Yeah, we're going to see Artiga on the field, and again, that's been consistent all night. Every time it's third and long, they struggle. That's not what they do, and they cannot have negative plays on first and second down.
So Tyler Bass, after connecting on 10 straight field goals, missed his last attempt. This is a chip shot here.
He's got an angle, though, to deal with.
From 26. And the kick right down the middle. And look at this, a 17-point advantage for Georgia Southern. After an 0-9 start, they won and took down South Alabama 52-0. And a surprise really result here to be up by 17 against a Louisiana team that had eyes of maybe being Sun Belt champions if the chips fell the right way. They came into this game 4-2 in the conference.
Everybody in the Sun Belt was in a total shock last week at that score against South Alabama, and this score will really get their attention on the road against a pretty darn good Louisiana team that was 504-2 in the Sun Belt.
Well, they take the interception. They go 6 plays, 41 yards over a minute 49. But I would think that in Statesboro, they've got to be elated. You'd think that Chad Lunsford said that he's got a goal of being a head coach down the road, and what a better opportunity than to have a chance to be a head coach right here, despite the start, to turn things around. And I would think that this would speak volumes when it comes time to take a look at who would be the next coach of Georgia Southern, just with what he's done over the course of a couple of weeks.
He has certainly earned some strong consideration for that head coaching job. And the staff. It's not just the head coach, the whole staff. Because you know how it works when the head coach, when the interim coach goes, everybody goes. Wow.
Bass.
Wow, what a kick.
Another touchback. Almost could have automatically started at the 25 if you're Louisiana and just skip the formality of kicking it off. Big night for Bass. He's got a big boot. The junior, who'll be back another year. First team All Sun Belt a year ago.
That's it. It was just just a little situation happened on the field at the end of that kickoff, and a Georgia Southern player was kind of jawing with a couple of Louisiana players, and Monquavion Brinson, their fine corner, rushed out on the field and grabbed his guy and said, "Hey, get to the bench. Let's go."
Jordan Davis remains in the football game in the place of Levi Lewis. You're looking to throw it a whole lot more now, down by 17 with only 4 minutes to play in the third quarter.
It's one of the few mistakes Georgia Southerners made tonight. They didn't get the kicking tee off the field. Okay, now we got it straight.
Regas in the backfield as Davis going to use his feet on first down, and he picks up 7 yards before he's tackled by Ty Phillips, the sophomore from Moultrie, Georgia.
Well, they tried to hit a comeback route on the short side of the field, and Kendall Vildor had it been thrown, it would have been intercepted, would have been another interception. These corners, and you know me, I'm an old NFL secondary coach. These corners are very impressive.
Davis going to try to throw on second down. Complete to Regas on the near sideline, but maybe falls. No, he's actually going to lose a yard before Enchton, the sophomore from Irmo, South Carolina, comes in. I guess the good news if you're a Louisiana fan is that Jordan Davis, he was the 12th quarterback in Louisiana history to pass over 300 yards. He had 309 yards throwing against Tulsa, and you're going to need to fire it down the field if you're going to have a chance of coming back down 17.
And these corners make that very difficult. And they're not afraid to put them out there one-on-one and press them and let them go.
It's 3rd and 4 from the 31-yard line.
Blitz.
Davis, it opened up for him. Nice little pass to the outside.
He's right at the down marker. That was a great catch. That was a high throw.
First down, complete. Ernest Patterson, the junior wide receiver. Great reach there to get that grab in the first down.
That was a great catch.
And wait a minute, actually, it looks like they're going to mark the football about a half a ball short.
It was right at the marker now.
And Ray was out to run the Wildcat if needed, but they are going to take a look back at this play again in the replay booth.
Yeah, when he caught it, it was all where the foot came down. He needed to get right to the 35-yard line. Let's take a look. That's a good call. I think that is inches short. I don't think this will be overturned. These officials on the field tonight, they've been right on. They haven't made any errors.
Kevin Steiner, head referee tonight.
After further review, the receiver reached the ball across to the 35.5-yard line, which was good for a first down. Be 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. 35.5.
Yeah, his foot was definitely short. They spotted on his foot, but the ball, I agree with the replay. The ball was across. His foot was short, but the ball was right at the 35-yard line.
They're about to bring Deion Ray in to run the Wildcat. They're back to Jordan Davis behind center. They'll throw on first down. Play action. Fires downfield to a wide open receiver. And a big play across midfield once again. Is that time they connect to Gerard Jackson, the sophomore.
Yeah, Davis put this right on the money. It took a long time to develop as he came all the way across the field. And they were in a zone coverage, and that's hard to pick up in a zone.
Final minute and a half of the third quarter. Louisiana would love to get another strike. Davis downfield, and man, penalty marker comes flying in.
Now that's going to be on Monquavion Brinson, and I think it's a good call. He was in press coverage. The ball was thrown pretty darn well, and there was a lot of contact.
Brinson's hands all over Gerard Jackson.
Pass interference Defense, number 4. 15 yards from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty.
That's the attitude you want right there, Markavion. No question. Yeah, there's the, again, you know, you'd like him to get his head back to the ball in that situation. But he is a good player. He is a very, very good corner.
Louisiana is driving.
Reverse.
And it could turn into a big play. Almost to the 20-yard line.
That was Brinson that made that tackle. The corner did a nice job. And that's a penalty, and that's a good call by the official. That is foolish.
Flip back to Raheem Malone, who went racing to the 20-yard line.
Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 13. 15 yards from the end of the run. The down counts. Second down.
After Malone got the big pickup, he gave it all back.
That is number 13.
He was yapping at the official, and the official made a good call. Absolutely, that's a correct call. And you got to keep your poise. That was terrible.
Look at how huge this is. The ball was going to be spotted right around the 20-yard line. Instead, it moves all the way back to the 36, and a whole lot more work to be done for Jordan Davis. And the struggle, you're down by 17, and you only have a quarter and a minute remaining in the football game.
Raheem, you just really hurt your football team, son.
Davis with a pass complete. Near sideline, Jackson has been hot on this drive.
That was a great throw by Davis. That was, again, tight coverage, and he put it right in there.
So Jackson comes up with a big play, and it's a manageable third down. We did see RT connect on a 50-yard field goal, so he is well within range, but they would love to get a touchdown on this drive. Down by 17. Third down and 5. Davis hands it off on the inside to Regis. And Regis battling, and Regis looks like he picked up enough yardage for a first down, and they will move the chains.
He was initially stopped short, no question about that. That's 227 pounds and great leg drive and effort that got him the first down.
Could be a shocker here in Lafayette, Louisiana. The Georgia Southern Eagles looking for 2 straight wins, but Louisiana moving the football down by 17 as we head into the fourth quarter.
ESPN, home of the New Year's Six and the college football playoff.
Saturday night Sunbelt action down in the Bayou. Alongside the coach Doug Graver, Bernie Gunther with you as we begin the fourth quarter. Georgia Southern looking for back-to-back wins after an 0-9 start, but Louisiana, believe it or not, this is their first trip of this football game into the red zone, and when they've gotten to the red zone, coach, they're very efficient. 37 of 40 this season, and on target, they find the end zone for the 31st time. A huge score is Malone on the receiving end of a catch from Jordan Davis.
Well, he owed that to his team after taking that 15-yard penalty. And I'll tell you, Jordan Davis made it. Jordan Davis, this has been a terrific series for him. Every throw has been right on the money.
That is big.
Did you see Raheem Malone when he got up? He's just one of them talkers. I mean, he could talk to somebody after every play.
RT gone for the point after to make it a 10-point football game right down the middle. And look at Louisiana with a chance with almost a full quarter remaining. 8 plays, 75 yards, capped with a Jordan Davis to Raheem Malone 17-yard touchdown reception, and now Jordan Davis has thrown for over 100 yards.
Well, this has got the makings of a great fourth quarter. Now, Georgia Southern has got to do what triple option teams can do. They need a long drive, and they got to take some time off that clock. Now, their first 2 drives of the game, you know, where Louisiana was trying to get everything adjusted, I mean, they went right down the field. But since then, the Louisiana defense has been much more sound in their assignment football, and they've done a pretty decent job against them. But hey, obviously the key issue is you got to get Georgia Southern into 3rd and long, and that's hard to do.
Coach Hunt trying to get Louisiana bowl eligible for the 6th time in the last 7 seasons. Trying to keep pace. Troy, Arkansas State, App State, they've already won. Those 3 lead the Sun Belt Conference with 6-1 records. Another driven kick, and it turns out the right way. It was fielded by Malik Henry, the wide receiver, who took it on a hop, and he gets short of the 25. They're going to start from the 22-yard line before Shelby Townsend Jr. came in to make the tackle. Excuse me, Townsend picked up the loose ball.
Yeah, he did. That was your big lineman, buddy, that was rumbling and stumbling down the field. More stumbling than rumbling.
So it remains Shai Wertz's game.
Under center again. We have not seen Cato Brown the entire game. Shai Wertz has played very, very well.
Wesley Fields in the backfield, and they send Wesley Kennedy
look
around, and look at Kennedy run, racing to the end zone, and Kennedy all the way down to the 3-yard line with a huge pickup.
Wow, you talk about what a way to answer the bell. Just all it is a quick toss, kind of a jet sweep in motion, and great blocking down the field. And I'll tell you, he knew what to do with it. And I think it's a good spot. I thought he was out more about the 2, but and you know what? The officials just corrected it. The officials just corrected on the field. Ball's down about the 1.5-yard line.
And L.A. Ramsby in the backfield, fumbled snap, and Wertz is able to fall on it.
This is the issue. When you're used to being in the gun all the time, and I see it over and over and over, and teams get down here inside the 5-yard line, and nobody can take a snap from center. They don't do it that much.
DeBoris Lee, the senior, tried to get a win for Louisiana on Senior Day, jumped in right away and got the tackle.
And I think that was the case of Shai Wertz pulling out early.
They'll go back to the shotgun. Fields to his right, Ramsby to his left. 2nd and goal. L.A. Ramsby gets the call, and he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Ramsby on the carry.
Oh, boy. You do not want to have to kick a field goal in this situation. Boy, I'll tell you, I don't like to see this out of Louisiana. Just too much jawing and yapping and everything else going on. Just line up and play football.
Kennedy did the bulk of the work. He ran 77 yards down to the 1. A chance for Georgia Southern to punch it in here now on 3rd and goal. Wertz under center with Fields in the backfield. 3rd down and goal. They pitch it back to Kennedy, and Kennedy, he's short again. About an inch away from getting in before Tracy Walker comes in to make the play.
I thought he definitely reached the ball to touch the goal line. Now, was his knee down? That's the question. This is going to be a great view of it right here. Boy, that's tough. That's a tough call. Couldn't quite see whether the knee was down or not when the ball touched the goal line. And you know what? I'm not sure the ball did touch the goal line.
They're going to take another look.
First charge time out of the half, Georgia Southern.
Kennedy's got 77.5 yards, and you're a football team that started 0-9 You got a win last week at South Alabama. You had a huge run by Kennedy to get you down to the 1. You're going for it here, Coach, or you're just taking the field goal?
I am going for it. I'm going to tell you why. Because the triple option offense is a great goal line offense as well. And you've got an athlete like you have at quarterback. I would run some form of it. I'd like to have him under center where he could take a snap, but I would run some form of triple option and give your quarterback a chance to make a play. Let's see what they do. I do believe they're going to go for it.
3 rushes today for Wesley Kennedy III, a freshman. Give him 77.5 yards because he got down to the 1, and he's got it about an inch or so away from giving Georgia Southern a big lead here. Trying to go up by 17. Words hands out to L.A. Ramsey, who flies into the end zone, and the Eagles are soaring on the road. Ramsey with another touchdown.
Boy, you called it, Bernie. You talk about flying into the end zone. Boy, did he have a vertical up and over the top. Wow. Wow. Well executed play.
The 5th touchdown of the season for L.A. Ramsey. And what an answer for Georgia Southern after Jordan Davis worked the football down the field for Louisiana. It started with Kennedy, 77 yards down the field. Ramsey caps it at 34-17 lead for the Eagles on the road.
All ESPN coverage is streaming live on the ESPN app. Download now and take ESPN everywhere.
What a wild weekend of college football. Little Al, L.A. Ramsey, with his 5th touchdown of the season, 15 rushes, 62 yards, and that's a huge answer for Georgia Southern.
Yeah, 4th and inches, and I'll tell you, you have to take your hats off to this group of kids and this coaching staff. 0-9, and they had the resolve and the mental toughness to fight through it and come back. Really fun to watch.
Bass, another touchback. Been a wild weekend of college football. Miami losing yesterday to Pittsburgh. Auburn taking down Alabama. Wow. Georgia Southern taking down Louisiana on the road. It's a weekend of surprises, wouldn't you say?
Crazy. Coach? Just crazy. How about down the road? What was the final there? 67-50 or something with Arkansas State and ULM. Wow. Boy, you never know.
And the challenge right now for Jordan Davis and company is they only have 12 minutes to try to work their way back against this Georgia Southern squad, and they still have one more chance to be bowl eligible as Davis is going to air it out on 1st down. This will help indeed. A huge play to Jamarcus Bradley down the field for the 1st down.
Boy, Davis surprised me with his arm strength right here. I think he obviously surprised Georgia Southern, too. The safety was out of position. That's on the free safety. He got looked off by the quarterback, and that was E.J. Murray. And Davis looked him off and made a terrific throw.
49 yards down to the 26. Davis is going to throw again on 1st down with eyes to the end zone. And look at this. Oh, incomplete. It looked like back-to-back passes to Bradley were going to get him on the board, but that one incomplete, broken up by Kendall Vildor.
Yeah, boy, Vildor is a good player. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened here. Pretty darn good throw. Oh, Vildor got his right hand in there. That was a terrific job by the corner.
Huge play by the sophomore. Georgia Southern's had the answer today every time Louisiana's gotten on the board. 5 seconds to snap it. 2 seconds now. And they're going to call a timeout right before a delay of game penalty, but now Louisiana down to just one timeout remaining and only 11 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and again, that timeout came from the sideline, and again, you'd like your quarterback to be able to handle that himself.
Louisiana is challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Have to take another look.
Oh, that's why they took the timeout. They were that's exactly what they were waiting to see if the replay would take a look at it. Let's take a look right here. We got a great shot. Boy, did he have control of the football? No, and see right there, the ball was out. It may have touched the ground.
Vildor got a good eye on it, of course.
You know, with these black jerseys, it's hard to tell if the ball, if he had control or not.
Bunch of official reviews here in the second half.
Second half, yeah. None in the first half, and we've had a bunch of crucial ones now in the second half. You know, a lot of people don't like the delay, and I love it because I'll tell you.
You want to get it right?
Yeah, and just like the first down, I thought it was not a first down, but on review, the ball, it was totally the correct call, and they overturned it.
Kevin Steiner,
after further review,
referee.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, I agree. I thought at the very end he did not have control and the ball touched the ground.
So Louisiana is down to just one timeout.
Timeout of the half, and they have no challenges remaining for the game.
The last two series, Jordan Davis has really come alive. I mean, he's made some great throws, and he was very inconsistent before that.
10 of 16, 154 yards passing. Touchdown and interception.
This has been the issue for this team. Not one quarterback has really been able to latch on because of injuries and other issues.
He'll throw on second down, looking to the near sideline, trying to connect with Malone. Incomplete.
Yeah, that was not a good throw. And he had some heat on him. They brought the blitz. He had to throw it, sooner than he wanted to.
Jordan Davis opened up the drive with a 49-yard reception to Bradley, but the offense has stalled. It's 3rd down and 10.
See, I'm sure Levi Lewis got most of the reps this week in practice and then did not perform very well.
Hoggins is in the backfield on 3rd down. Davis takes his time, fires to the near sideline, and the pass is a touchdown to Rod Jackson.
Great call by Will Hall, the offensive coordinator. They ran a double route. They ran a little stop and go. They knew it was going to be man. And again, a pretty darn good throw by Davis. And he he did a nice job of looking the safety off. Knew he was going to the stop and go to his left.
Jordan Davis, his second touchdown pass. He's thrown for 180 yards. Coming in to take the place of Levi Lewis, and I'm sure that the Cajun faithful wondering what could have been if Davis would have started this football game.
That's been the whole issue for this offense. No continuity at the quarterback position all year.
Ortigue in to make it a 10-point deficit with 11 minutes to play. This has still been a wild ride, but Louisiana, last of the Sun Belt in point afters. Another big play. Davis to Jackson. And the Raging Cajuns are within 10. Settle down. It could be a big finish here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Jordan Davis has taken Coach Hutt's team down the field once again. They are back within 10, but the question remains, after that 4-play, 75-yard drive that took just a minute, how do you stop Georgia Southern and the Eagles. This is a Cajun team that came in last in the Sun Belt in scoring defense, giving up 38 points a game, average allowing 484 yards per game. But this is a point in this contest where the Raging Cajuns are going to need a stop defensively.
Yeah, and you know, it might say about blitzing. Well, blitzing doesn't work against triple option. Believe me, you're going to give up a big play. Not maybe, you're going to.
Campbell will take it out. He is fun to watch. He gets across the 25-yard line, and he gets all the way out to the 33. He can take it to another level, can he?
He sure can, and that's a great start now for this offense. And it's been interesting. Louisiana has been mainly in the 3-4 tonight, but they have gone back and forth to the 4-3 as well. And boy, that young man, for a freshman now, I think they've got their guy for the future.
Yeah, it's remained Shyworth's game. Came in with almost 800 yards. He's thrown for 75 yards in this football game. He's about a completion or so, moving into becoming the most thrown yards as a freshman in school history. Ham in 1983 threw for 886 yards. Ramsey's had a big game, getting ahead for 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Yeah, boy, Tracy Ham was unbelievable. Then, of course, went on to do very well up in Canada.
Eagles team with a rich football history. Of course, you talk about all the national championships they had as an FCS school. Now trying to make a name in the FBS. And it helps to have somebody like Fields who stays on his feet and gets across midfield before Boudreaux comes and makes the tackle. Yes, indeed, Fields. It is another first down. Fields is going to have a chance to go after 200 yards potentially.
Wow. I'll tell you, these two backs, Ramsey and Fields, boy, they are quality players. Both good size, both 200 pounds, both tough, hard-nosed, lower the pads kind of running backs.
Fields has got 180 yards on the ground to go along with a touchdown, averaging 9 yards a carry. Back to Ramsey.
This is a triple option, 3-4 yards in a crack. Don't be afraid to go for it on 4th down. Defensively, you have to have discipline with your eyes. Play pure assignment football. Now it's about time for Shyworth to pull the ball out now.
And you like to see this if you're a Georgia Southern fan. The last drive, maybe you like the fact that you scored, but maybe you scored a little too quick as Kennedy had 77 yards on one scamper. You'd like to eat up a little more clock. 9 minutes to play here in this football game. Up by 10. Wirtz kicks it to the outside to Fields, and Fields is going to be about 2 yards short.
Fields on the carry. And stays in bounds. You knew the other phases of the triple were coming. We had 2 dives in a row, and here comes the quarterback reading it, pulling, pitching.
Remember, Louisiana has only 1 timeout remaining. That could be big. Down by 10 points.
Could be huge.
3rd and 2. The Cajun faithful coming to life.
Yeah, there was
markers coming in.
That's what there was definitely movement. That
Full
just
start.
kills
Offense, number 62, 5-yard penalty.
The junior Ryan Northrup.
Now 3rd and 7. Again, that dreaded 3rd and long, which has been a really a serious problem for Georgia Southern every time tonight.
You're keeping it on the ground, though, just to continue to run some time off the clock.
Yeah, boy, you know, it's not a bad thought, because a lot of times you get a team playing pass defense and all of a sudden here comes the triple option. Be careful.
Another marker comes in. That time it was a pass call.
Was that the 25?
Prior to the snap, second charge timeout, Georgia Southern.
Okay. Yeah, the clock, the 25-second clock was right at the end.
We will take a break as well. Georgia Southern with the football, up by 10 with 7:47 to play here in Lafayette. Sunbelt football on a Saturday night under the lights, at a huge call upcoming for Chad Lunsford and Georgia Southern. 7:47 remaining. 3rd down and 7.
Where they had it 3rd and 2 and took that penalty. That's a killer.
Fields is in the backfield along with Shai Wirtz. Wirtz is going to throw on 3rd down. Rolls out. Nothing happening. And he is sacked by Boudreaux about a yard behind the line of scrimmage. And now 4th down upcoming. A huge play by the sophomore from New Orleans.
Every 3rd and long tonight, Georgia Southern has struggled. Now that was a 2-man route. They tried to protect him, but Louisiana brought the blitz. There was nothing there. Nothing there. It was well covered down the field. Heavy pressure. That was a big, big penalty. It took them 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 7.
But Wirtz stayed in bounds. The clock is going to roll under 7 minutes when Louisiana will have the football back, down by 10. Matt Flynn on to punt. It's a good one. They're caught at the 10-yard line. And so Louisiana 90 yards away as they try to work their way back in this football game.
You know, nobody angles the football out of bounds anymore. That's a lost deal. You know, it's all these, and it's very effective. And these punters, all of them, are very, very good at it. That high end over end, and they can really control the distance of that. And boy, it's really had a big impact. You know, all the changes in football, the rugby kick and the spread punt, and now this end over end punt in. It's been tremendous.
Jordan Davis remains in the football game, almost sacked, gets it away. He was rushed in the backfield, and a dangerous ball sent downfield.
Yeah, that was excellent coverage down the field. There was really no place to go with that football. They doubled up both outside receivers. No place to go.
Raymond Johnson III, just a freshman. He's got 2.5 sacks this season. Came in with a hurry. 2nd and 10. Davis will throw again. Right across the middle. The pass is complete for a 1st down and more. All the way out to the 37-yard line as they connect with Barnes before Joshua Moon came in to make the play. Excuse me, Malone.
Yeah, they played a soft quarter zone on the crossing route. That's exactly what you want to run against that coverage, and a good throw.
And quickly back at it, and another great throw over the middle. Man, Jordan Davis has been firing bullets again, connecting with Malone. He has been his favorite target tonight. Raheem Malone over 100 yards receiving in this football game.
And they're getting chunks, I mean, big chunks.
He's coming off a career high 113 yards last week against New Mexico State. Davis flushed out of the pocket. He's going to get across midfield before Johnson was there to make the tackle. Malone, by the way, with 106 yards, so he is approaching a career best performance in Sun Belt action.
Now, he's made some tough catches in space, and he's been hit.
Less than 6 minutes to play. And again, some big pressure in the backfield. That time it was Logan Hunt who pressured the quarterback Davis, who threw it out of play. 3rd and 5 upcoming.
Oh, that's right, Coach. You keep looking at that clock. It's 5:38 now. 2 scores down. This is going to be man-to-man. This is straight man-to-man.
3rd and 5, inside pass, and he is tripped up. A huge tackle there by Ty Phillips after Ernest Patterson caught the on congestion, and now 4th down upcoming.
If he doesn't trip him up right here, he read the screen. That's a good job of Phillip when he did trip up. That could have been called.
4th down, incomplete. and they'll turn the football over on downs as Georgia Southern's defense comes up with a huge stop.
But he had him open. He missed the throw. He missed it.
Jordan Davis has had all the long passes today down the field.
Yep.
But couldn't connect on a huge fourth down, and now Georgia Southern has a chance to run a little more time off the clock again. Louisiana down to only one timeout, and Chad Lunsford, the interim head coach, trying to lead Georgia Southern to back-to-back wins after an 0-9 start.
Tight formation.
Under center, they hit it to Fields. Georgia Southern talked about the emotion last week, finally getting that first win. The celebration, they're about to potentially celebrate back-to-back weeks.
It's been fun watching the Georgia Southern. Folks, you have no idea how difficult it is and how much work to be 0-9. I really take my hat off to this team.
Coastal Carolina, I'm sure they're on alert now.
Yeah. And again, the clock is, they're going to wait till it's about 5 seconds before they snap the ball.
Where it's under center. He snaps it, hands it to Fields. Fields is going to gain just a couple of yards, but it's going to start the clock again. In Louisiana, they may get the football back if they get it under 3 minutes.
Yeah, and again, Louisiana without timeouts to stop the clock. Usually you want to start calling timeouts just under 4 minutes to stop the clock in this situation, and now they've only got one left. They can't do it.
And the big story, coach, is it is a two-possession football game.
And again, this was a great job of clock management. The last time Wirtz snapped it with about 4 seconds to go. I'm going to see what it is this time. It's going to be less than that.
3rd and 8. Wirtz is going to keep it himself. Not a bad call. And Georgia Southern going to get the football back with less than 3 minutes to try to come back with what would be now a miracle comeback.
30-second timeout.
And Wirtz had both hands on that football on that play. Heads up.
Or the other option, take your final timeout.
Yep.
So the clock is stopped with 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The Ragin' Cajuns have no more timeouts remaining.
Right, because they would have waited on the punt or even taken a penalty on the punt and let the clock run all the way down. So that saved them 25 seconds. Now, again, let's see if Flynn can make another good end-over-end kick here and get him down inside the 20. And Bernie, you're right. Davis's throws, his longer throws have been his best throws. And some of the shorter ones where his accuracy at times has been off.
So Matt Flynn, 2 punts inside the 20, trying to do it again.
He may not end over end this one. Let's see. This will be right in the gray area.
Ernest Patterson back to receive. It is an end over end kick.
Yep.
Patterson.
Great.
Hand up. Bear caught. And Louisiana going to work with 3.5 to play from the 12-yard line. A lot of work to be done by Jordan Davis. Down 10 without timeouts.
But the senior punter really has done a nice job tonight for Georgia Southern, Matt Flynn.
It's his 3rd punt inside the 20-yard line.
Now, Georgia Southern has actually been more effective. You'd say, okay, now you're going to play zones, and they've really been more effective playing man. But
So
I'm sure we'll see, zones primarily here, and they're lining up in a zone look. Yep.
Big numbers by Jordan Davis, coming in relief of Levi Lewis, the freshman, but he is scampered out of the pocket, tosses it ahead, just a handful of yards, being picked up there by Darius Hoggins. Hoggins had that huge touchdown run, if you remember, to get Louisiana on the board back in the first half, scampering 75 yards down the near sideline.
That was a mistake, though. He should have got out of bounds.
Clock continues to work. 3:07 to play. Davis looking downfield, and the pass is picked off. Another interception. Joshua Moon this time gets the Eagles the football back with 3:02 to play.
This secondary has made some big-time plays tonight. That one by the safety, Joshua Moon. They have been outstanding. Wow, that's just an aggressive play on the football. Now, Louisiana can't stop the clock. They're in big time. I mean, they're in trouble anyway, but now they're in real trouble.
What about this turnaround? How about this moment for Georgia Southern and for the faithful in Statesboro, maybe finally able to exhale after all the anguish that began the season, the 0-9 start. You turn it around a week ago. You get the big win against South Alabama. Now you go on the road to Lafayette, and your boys walk away with another win, and they have a chance to finish out the season potentially with 3 straight wins, Coach.
That's amazing. Yeah, they've got Coastal Carolina next week. That's a very winnable. The way they're playing, I'm not sure they couldn't beat anybody in the Sun Belt right now.
And for Coach Mark Hudsmith, a big game awaiting them next week against App State, a must-win game if they're going to become bowl eligible for the 6th time in 7 seasons.
And let's be honest, they may have been caught looking ahead a little bit to that football game.
He was worried about this Eagles team coming in, drinking the Kool-Aid. Some pretty good stuff, Coach.
Oh, absolutely. And he may have waited.
Hold start. Offense, number 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
I thought that might have been a clock violation, but it wasn't. And, and again, your offensive football team has to know the quarterback is not going to snap the football till there's 4 seconds or left. You've just got to hold.
Penalty against Ellis Richardson. Stops the clock. 2 minutes, 17 seconds. Wirtz will take the high snap. L.A. Ramsby powers ahead. It'll start the clock once again.
That's going to be 3rd and about 7. And I don't think they'll attempt a field goal here. I think that they'll run it both plays. Why take a chance on having a field goal blocked and returned? But we'll see.
Final 2 minutes of this football game in Lafayette. What a moment for Shai Wirtz. Looks to be the man to really run this football team the next 3 years. And L.A. Ramsby powers ahead. He's got a 1st down. And the Eagles are going to walk away victorious for the 2nd straight time this season. But this time they go to town and they take down 4-2 of the Sun Belt, Louisiana.
Unbelievable. That is truly remarkable. And now we're getting the victory formation, and that's going to be it.
Wirtz, 6 of 11, 75 yards passing, but the day belonged to Fields and Ramsby. Fields with 186 yards on the ground. Ramsby with 87 yards. Both got 2 touchdowns. And they're going to finish with over 450 yards of offense, and of that, almost 400, Coach, on the ground.
Wow. That's what the triple option can do to you. And it was the first 2 series, Louisiana couldn't even sniff it. I mean, the pitches, they hadn't pitched all year, and they kept hitting the pitches for big plays. And you just got to hand it to this Georgia Southern football team. This has really been fun to watch.
What a moment for this Georgia Southern team. They enjoyed celebrating a week ago against South Alabama. Today they're going to celebrate in Lafayette as Chad Lunsford, he's got another win as the interim head coach of the Eagles. This time taking down Louisiana 34-24, the final here.
Well, that locker room would be fun in there right now, won't it? I'd like to be in there myself. There'll be a lot of hugging and laughing and jumping up and down.
What a win for Georgia Southern, turning things around after an 0-9 start. They pick up their 2nd win in the Sun Belt, and they have a chance to win the final 3 games of the season as their attention now turns to Coastal Carolina next week.
And, the administration at Georgia Southern, they're going to make some crucial decisions. They've got a lot of personnel, young personnel, like starting with that young man right there that can run the triple option. What do they do now with the head coaching decision? I mean, that's a tough one.
It was a lot of fun here today in Louisiana. So for Doug Graber, I'm Bernie Hanker saying so long from Cajun Field, where the final score, Georgia Southern 34, the Raging Cajuns 24. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live on the ESPN app, or watch this game on replay in its entirety, as well as games on our other ESPN family of networks. Log on to watchespn.com or download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.